Good afternoon, this is Home Inspector Dan coming to you today from Glendale. Doing a 50-year-old house with asphalt shingle roof. I've had a little bit of time to go in and open everything up. Today we're going to get started off right on the roof. Brick home, foundation looks good most of the way around. Shingles don't look too bad from the ground, but see what it looks like up here on the roof surface. Got some of this wood deteriorating here. It really shouldn't be sitting on the roof surface like that. That way the wood will wick up moisture from the shingles. See, some of this is old and deteriorated, but it's been painted over. Asphalt shingle roof, we can't have any exposed nail heads. Looking for adequate coverage of the shingles over all the sheathing. We got some of these boards down here, kind of loose again. How many layers of shingles is that? Right? One. Gable vent for the roof. There's no soffit vents on this house. The only ventilation that I saw was that gable right there, and then the two turbines that were installed at a later date over in the middle of the roof. So on the flat patio, this surface looks like it's been repaired not that long ago. Missing a couple lights. This wood never gets painted on top of the patio, and it always deteriorates. So this is what we call inadequate overhang. It's not quite over the edges. Water can still get under these areas. Not a major issue now, but once water starts seeping in there, it'll become a major issue pretty quick. So we've got the fireplace chimney. Yeah, the thing has been bent quite a bit. It's been pushed off to the side. Now this is mastic used to seal up all these joints. You can tell how fresh that is. They must have done this very recently. Look at all that. Well, at least it's sealed up, which is good. Got a little sun tube there. Fresh mastic around this penetration as well. Yeah, it's still soft. No gas at the property, so this is going to be a heat pump up on the roof surface, or an air conditioner with heat strips, but it looks like it's an all-in-one unit because we've got the air duct, air return going off the back. And looking up here at the serial number, we're looking at 16 or 18 is the year it was built. I'm pretty sure it's 2016. We'll have to check on this. It's a Lennox, but I'm pretty sure it's the first two digits. And then our heat pump, HP is short for heat pump, right there. 42 divided by 12 is 3.5, so that gives us 3.5 tons. So max disconnect is 40 amps in the electrical panel. And then the condensate disposal, it's going through the roof right there. I'm going to recommend my clients just abandon this and run it off the roof surface to the backyard, so you can tell when it's dripping and when it's not. When it's plumbed to an internal vent or internal drain, we can't see where the water is or backing up. if there's some issues, we can't tell until we've created a lot of water damage in the house. And at that point, you wish you would have redirected that PVC line sooner. All right, let's go in the house. So I'm gonna get going right now and just go up into the attic. It's got a drop down attic hatch with stairs, so I'm gonna take advantage of that. Put on my mask. 50-year-old house, you don't know what kind of stuff has been up in the attic. They were using asbestos back when this house was built, so there's a possibility of that being up there. We shall find out. It's not the best ladder, but I'm going to give it a shot anyway. We've got all these wires everywhere. It looks like a rat's nest, and I haven't even been up there yet. So electrical wires should be 3 feet from the opening. 3 feet. So we've got some water line here. You see this is PEX. Got the old closet doors up here. We do have an attic fan on the gable vent. Some open electrical junction box right there. Old fabric, sheathed wiring, plywood sheathing, not OSB. So we're dating our property a little bit by saying it's plywood instead of OSB sheathing up on the roof. I like to see plywood. I think it looks better than OSB, but it's sheathing, who cares? Not that big of a deal. Trusses up there don't look too bad. I'm going to see where I can. So if you see here, this is going down into the garage to the water heater. This is copper coming up through the ceiling, and then it changes to PEX. So that's good. We need a hard, solid pipe to come through that fire barrier wall. If that was straight PEX, that would be a problem. Attic screen up here, missing a screen on the turbine vent, so any bugs or debris could just come right through. It's not being stopped by a screen. And there we can see on the back side that the soffit is not vented. There's no openings down there. This turbine is actually grinding a little bit. You can see they've done some work to install these can lights. Some of the insulation has been disrupted. Still following our PEX water line over here. Checking for any roof damage. Sheathing stains. Yeah, we've got some over here by the AC. We probably had an evaporative cooler on this house at one time. So we've got some of this water staining over here on the sheathing and the trusses all the way down there. That's your chimney down there. Hope that's double walled. More duct tape on the dryer vent. And we can see over here underneath the air conditioner, the old water stains, old leaks. They've replaced some of the sheathing boards down there, probably because they were too damaged. So we've got another PEX line running over this way. I was a little bit concerned I'd find
polybutylene plumbing up here, because the electrical panel said plastic tubing or non-metallic used in the house, and it was an old sticker back before they made PEX. So they might have had polybutylene in here at one point and replaced it with PEX. I can't confirm that every line has been replaced because a lot of those lines are hidden. Somehow we got a pine cone up here. Really? I don't even think there were pine cones or pine trees around here. Okay. Oh, that was fun. So you can get a better look at that copper pipe that goes up through the attic right there. Because this is a fire barrier wall, that needs to be hard. So that's a good thing. They were smart when they wired that up. So I didn't have to call it out and do more work.
All right. Let's go back to the outside. Okay, let's get started on the exterior. Like I said, 50-year-old house. We've got the main water shutoff right there. It's actually connected to a pressure regulator. There's a pressure regulator, so the water coming into the house can be turned up or down in pressure. 2 hose bibs on the front of the house, both operational. On the side of the home, didn't notice anything really out of the ordinary. We're missing some screens on some windows. There's a few in the garage, but then we don't have ventilation on our soffit, so we don't have any excess air going up there. And then at the front of the house, we don't have any soffit vents as well, so there's no air coming from the soffit area going up into the home. Now there are no plumbing cleanouts found at the front of this house, which is typical of a home this age, but I don't know how the condition of the pipes is without dropping the camera down and taking a look at it. So this is actually the main water meter here. Just going to verify that nothing's turning, nothing's moving. It's getting warm out. It's only, what is it, March 13th? It's already past 70 degrees, a little bit after 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Welcome to Phoenix. Driveway looks good. Nice and clean. We've got a little bit of a damaged spot right here on the corner. I'm not sure what that is. The garage door actually had a little bit of a sag today. We'll go and open it up later and I'll kind of show you, but we're missing some fixtures at the front of the house. Light fixture there, light fixture here. Front patio looks okay, but we were missing some tiles by the front door. Let's see, we're missing a couple tiles there. And again, with the windows, they're pretty old for this property. We're looking at single pane windows. We've got a cracked seal right there and just starting to pull apart. So all these areas, moisture can get in here. I'm not too worried about this window. It's in a patio area, but plus these plastic pieces of trim start shrinking over time, and then air and water can infiltrate. but the windows are dated. They're still looking good on the outside. We'll see how functional they are on the inside. Got that nice white and black Arcadia look going on. I did notice there's actually been some settlement right in this corner of the garage. You can see it on the inside of the garage as well. It definitely dropped down. So this is what we call displacement. When, let's see if I can get it here. When this surface down here drops, that's displaced. So it's vertically displaced, or yeah, it's vertically, it went down, but it was displaced, you know, different from this concrete. So this guy could be brought up a little bit. You might want to consult with a structural engineer. Look at all this stuff I'm picking up. Yeah, let's use a magnet. That was smart. Okay. But all in all, I didn't see any major issues around that right now. Nothing's settling, nothing's falling down in that area. What's up, dude? Okay, so we've got our wood siding. Got to be careful with moisture around that because it will deteriorate. All those little openings up there on the eave, fascia, or the soffit area, they need to be filled in. There's some wasps around here. Once wasps get up into your attic, it's game over. You're gonna have to hire somebody to go up in there and get them out. This is actually a photo cell for lights. So your lights would turn on automatically at dark, but it's been painted over, so your lights are probably permanently on now. Gate at the side of the house, it's not working, like, at all. There's your wasp. Look at that guy. There's quite a few of them around here. So we do have a pool in the backyard. This guy needs to close automatically. This gate needs to be damn wasp. Spring tensioned. It's broken down at the bottom. It needs a new gate, and it needs to be brought up into current safety codes because you have a pool in the backyard. Now the back patio, don't see any structural movement or any movement of the slab, but we do have movement of the columns. A couple of the columns here are actually tweaked, bowed in. You can probably get a better view this way. See that column there? That one's actually bowed in pretty good as well. So this is an area of drainage, roof runoff, everybody getting out of the pool. It's going to go down in here and drain into that swale. And then where does it go? What was the plan after that? I mean, the drain is a good idea, but you've got to give the water somewhere to go once it gets out to the end of the drain. So when you fill this all in, you're going to have water ponding. It's typical. And then you're going to have water ponding underneath the concrete, creating settlement. Settlement cracks here are telling me that this concrete is actually dropping because of all the moisture. And this concrete around the pool doesn't want to drop, so it's creating a crack right there. Used to have a diving board. It's been cut off. Most insurance companies don't like to see diving boards anymore. I'm not sure what they recommend for depth of a pool before you start running into problems with the diving board. See that big gap up there? That needs to be filled in. All the gaps around there. Caulk, foam, whatever you can to fill that in and keep the bugs out. You got a plumbing clean out in the backside of the kitchen sink. Kitchen window, some of the plastic is a little bit rough, but it doesn't look terrible. And we have light switches, but our light is non-existent. So we should put a light up there. Got hangers for the patio surface, patio roof. More areas where it's exposed to the inside. check and see if I can get any movement out of these. I'm not seeing any mechanical fasteners on the top side. It just looks like it's sitting on there. Huh. So the bottom has got mechanical fasteners, which is what we like to see. But at the same time, you can have termites get right into this area right here. You'll never see them. They'll get right in the middle of this wood column, go straight up, drill into your roof. You'll never see them. A little bit of water damage on the outside by the fascia. Been covered by paint. Forgot to get a picture of these lights missing. And some of the damage around that light fixture too. Alright, French doors. Nice thick coat of paint on everything here. There we go. Check the weather stripping, checking the hinges. Weather stripping looks good. I don't recommend painting weather stripping. Once you paint weather stripping, it creates a hard surface and then the door doesn't seal properly. It's got to stay soft. Just keep the paint off the weather stripping. There we go. Locked up, looks good. So this is kind of a extra patio room. It gets access to the primary bathroom. So if you're in the pool and you want to come out here, this, I guess you'd consider this a pool house. But we do have cracking around the perimeter of the tile. The tile actually here, brick is actually gone. It's deteriorated. More plastic trim missing at the windows. That just gives water another place to get back inside. Get some ventilation here for the back room. Not sure why. They tried to stick some foam up in some of those gaps. Not quite enough. So there's an old dryer vent. Vent terminate, goes up into the attic, comes out that way. Look at this guy. I have seen some of the biggest mosquitoes this year. Electrical panel on the east side of the property. It used to have a load controller hooked up to it. I guess the load controller is still hooked up to it, but it's not being used. We've got everything labeled in here pretty accurately except for these guys right there. We've got lighted circuit labeling up on top, but it would be nice if it was a little bit more descriptive so you knew exactly what you were controlling on and off. So the water heater is off right now. I don't think I tripped that, so my best judgment, I'm not gonna turn that on because I don't know why it's been turned off. So we won't be testing the water heater today unless I hear from the listing agent that it's all right. Okay, swimming pool time. And some more cracking around here on the perimeter of the decking. Because you're irrigating out here, you're irrigating the grass. All that moisture gets sucked into the ground, and then the ground underneath the concrete becomes unstable and it wants to settle a little bit. So we normally put rock around a concrete pad to keep the sprinklers and moisture away from the concrete pad to prevent this. When you get rid of the rock and you put grass right up to it, you're almost always going to have some type of settlement issues. That's being filled by a auto fill through a hose, which is a trip hazard, depending on how you look at it. And if we look at the decking back here, we can actually see this right here is settled. So we dropped a good inch. Your moisture is going to settle right here. It's going to pool up. Let's see. The slab was poured in 1990. Interesting though. Master pools. You can see some of the deteriorated surface in the pool right on the steps. It's a little bit dirty today. This coping around the perimeter has got tons of cracking. Never gets better until you fix it. Hearing that clicking, that's actually the pool cleaner over there. So they do have an aerator on the side of the pool, which is, I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be mounted right there, but the valve has been broken and the aerator is missing, so that's not functional anymore. And of course, you got your pool whip going in through there. It's just cleaning, vacuuming off the surfaces. Skimmer basket. Now there's something that's called a diverter plate that's supposed to be on the bottom of that to direct the water to the right pipe below. Make sure we have a weir door. Let that basket go back down. Alright, pool equipment. So we got a Pentair Triton sand filter. Got about 25 psi on the gauge. That's telling me that it's time to backwash this guy. It looks like it was just backwashed over there because the ground was wet. The electrical timer is completely loose. It's hardly even on the pedestal there. That needs some repairs. Pump itself does not have any bonding. There's a bonding clamp right there. You stick a wire in and then tighten that nut down or tighten that screw down, and that'll bond the electrical equipment so it's safer to use the pool. Some of the wall back here, it's absorbed moisture and it's rusting out. This wall is actually bowing considerably. So we've got some deteriorated PVC pipes. You see all that discoloration? That's from not having it properly painted. Over time, PVC just breaks down in the sunlight. So you got your backwash valve right here when you need to go backwash it. There's a ground wire, bond wire. Your main valve, then your aerator valve right here. The aerator valve is broken off, so that's not going to work. I can't test it. These sand filters last a long time, but there's a lot of moving parts on the inside of a sand filter that can break down. So if it hasn't been serviced in a while, and it really doesn't look like it's been serviced in a while, you should have it done. So I got GFI protection down here at the pool light. Doesn't seem to be setting or restarting. And not everything is labeled. So not that you need to know it, but you should understand which one comes from the bottom, which comes from the side on the skimmer basket. On the back side of the pool, we're actually looking underneath the concrete, so you can see how deep the concrete actually goes underneath the surface. Anytime we get moisture underneath that moisture is going to create unstable areas and then cause settlement. So we're getting some cracking there. This will probably start cracking out next. So with the backwash, they've got this backwash line run underground and then back here along the back wall and over to the side of the pool on this side, so they can discharge the backwash into the yard. So that comes all the way over from the pool equipment on ground, and then this is where they're discharging it. They've definitely backwashed not that long ago. There's a big pool of water right here. Okay, let's start on the interior. Hey, look, pool lights on. Alright, I must have reset the GFI. It's a good thing. Oh no. Okay, so that switches to turn everything off. Guess I should have known that. And the light is just a push button. Push on, push off. Okay. I'm actually going to get started with the air conditioning. Drop that down 5 degrees, so it was 69 when I got here. We'll drop down to 64. 71 degrees inside right now. Get the air return right above us. Drop that down with the system running so the filter doesn't fall down. A little dusty. Looks good in general though. I'm gonna let that run for a while, and then we'll take some AC splits. I've already kind of went through the house, but we're gonna walk back through it together, see if we can't find anything more. So we got a steel door. Both locks are functioning. They've been repaired. Looks like a good job. Weather stripping looks good. Now this closet door is off its tracks. Just needs to be remounted. And we do have a security system installed in the house, but I'm not sure if it's operational or not. Usually they're not. Now with a 50-year-old house, there's possibility of asbestos being in here, and I'm aware that the buyers are actually a little bit concerned about asbestos. So this is a popcorn ceiling, and it was made before 1978. 1978 is your year, cutoff year, to basically call out asbestos or not for being in popcorn ceiling. So there's a possibility that it's up there. There's a couple different ways to tackle it: encapsulate it or remove it. But as long as it's not being sanded and airborne, it's really not a major concern, although I'm still calling it out as a possibility of being a concern if it does get airborne. Single pane windows, we're gonna have a little bit of movement. I just want to make sure it's latching. Pretty common misconception people have about home inspections is that I'm here to make sure that everything is in perfectly working condition. I'm not. That was never on the contract that I wrote or the contract my company put together. What it says in the company contract and what it says on the state scope, the Arizona BTR, is that it's what's visible today and a representative amount of things. I'm trying to give the home buyer a good idea of the condition of the property. It's not my job to find every little thing. It's my job to try and find the big things, material defects, safety, upgrades, things like that. I'm not here looking for cosmetic issues. Good. On the next room, state standards indicate or dictate that we should be testing at least one outlet in every room. Unoccupied houses, I typically go through and I'll try and test every one that I can get to. If it's an occupied house, definitely doing at least one in a room, but not all of them are going to be accessible. There's your wood burning fireplace. Take a look at the doors here, get this gate out of the way. Oh yeah, got some significant cracking on the front of this. And a nice big crack on the back there too. All these little cracked areas can just be places for embers to go down into burnable material and start a fire. It happens more than I like to hear about. So because it isn't gas, you can close off the damper door if you want. Just kind of seeing if we can. There's not a lot of built up in there. There's a little bit of creosote on the side. Nothing too bad though. There you can see some of the creosote buildup. There's damper handle, damper door. On a gas fireplace, that's got to be locked open. And that's your big old crack coming down there. So that's a call out. They shouldn't use this fireplace until it gets repaired. It's the only outlet here. I've already ran the appliances in the kitchen, dishwasher, I ran the laundry. The washing machine did not fill up full of water. It's just not filling up full of water. They replaced the valves with these knobs. They really should be replaced with typical handles, one-way valves. And then the plastic trim that goes around the connections is missing as well. So all this sheetrock can actually get water soaked and damaged, which it has already before. You see down in here, it's water damage right around the side of that, so the water seeps around the plastic, gets down into the wall, and creates that. So these fittings really need to be replaced. Just, it's not normal, it's not conventional. Dryer did run for a full cycle. In the garage, we're looking at the stairs that I came down. I left them down because they're not fire rated stairs. This is just a skinny piece of plywood. So this needs to be a fire barrier wall to protect our occupants of the house from any fires that would start out here or gases that would get into the home. So any holes in the wall, like that. You have a timer on the water heater so you can adjust it and only have it run at certain times of the day. Like I said, the water heater was off today. I don't know why. So is this going to be GFI protected? Absolutely not. 50-year-old house isn't typically going to have GFI protection in the garage. So all the holes on that wall that are adjoining the house need to be sealed. So we're looking for termite tubes, trying to follow some of this water staining, if it actually means anything or not. Just looks like something spilled off that cabinet. And this garage door does not open properly, should not open into the garage, and it should automatically close. Safety concerns. You do have a self-closer up here, but it's and the bottom. That's been misadjusted or disconnected. Good here. So you have some patching, you have some water spots. You know, there's probably a horizontal board that goes through there, and if any water did drop down onto that board, it would run horizontally right there, right? Some more staining, exterior door. Just really gotta look at the weather stripping. The doors actually look, some of them have been repaired nicely here. This is the slider door screen. Do we have a slider door here? I thought it was just a French door. Yeah, it was just a French door. A little bit of damage behind the screens here on the wall. Previous repairs. See, they've patched it. More water staining up on the wall. Probably from a roof leak, actually. And then you've got your repair right there, sheetrock tape covered, and you got a couple holes up on the ceiling. So they've done some work out here. The water main is not near this area. Here's that area of settlement by the garage door. It's actually dropped down a couple inches right there. So fluorescent lights up on the ceiling. They need covers, protective covers, so they don't fall and shatter and fall on somebody's face. I'll open the door here so you can see that sagging. Can you see that that door comes down in the middle just a little bit? It's an older garage door. Doesn't mean it's not going to work or it's not functional, it's older. And of course we got to test the safety on it. Kick it with your foot. It's actually got a warning sound. Is that the garage or is that somebody on the street? What's the garage door open? I don't hear them beep like that very much. Actually, the first time I've heard that. Anyway. So a little bit of cracking up here. sheetrock crack. It's been patched, painted in. A sliding door on the laundry. These things never work good. It's stuck. It's out of center. It's not level. And it's probably gonna break. Again, we could see sheetrock crack that's been patched right in that area. Kind of tell where the texture is a little bit different. Let's just run through the sink here quick. So the hot was on the left, cold was on the right. We do have an RO system, so this is giving you fresh drinking water at the sink. But also what we have had are some major leaks down here before. All of this brown wood has been deteriorated or water logged. Those RO tanks get a little bit of weight on them, and they're crooked because the base gets soft and then it just sinks and settles. Same with the plumbing, isn't exactly straight. So this is definitely something I'll call out for my client to get replaced, is all the wood underneath the sink that has been water damaged. Cabinet fronts, pretty loose. A couple different spots. You have a built-in cutting board. Love those. No handles on the drawers either. They have lips on the bottom. They're older style drawers, but they're functional today. Water line was actually run through the cabinets behind the oven over to the sink, or over to the, from the refrigerator over to the sink. Laminate countertops. A little bit of droopiness going on in the shelves. So we do have a fresh duct going up there, which is great. Except I can feel air coming right here. I don't understand the point of going through all the work, putting up that vent and not testing it and getting it right. So either they didn't remove the flap that needs to be removed to get the air up, or there's something going on in there, but as long as you have an exterior vent up there, you should be using it. Microwave, oven, functional, same with the fridge, door. What are these things? It's a joke. I haven't saw a telephone plugged into one of those ages. The dishwasher I did run for a cycle. See, the door opened up, got some residual water, but it drained properly. It's great. GFI protection, on, off. Make sure it trips. Garbage disposal. There's a GFI over here as well. That one trips. This one is not a GFI, and it's not connected to one either. So again, with the GFI standards today, would say anything in the kitchen GFI protected. So update that one as you want for safety. Okay. Bedrooms and bathrooms. Got the AC cranked up, it's already 69 in here, a couple degrees drop. Bedroom windows, your screen material on this is kind of shot. Like I said, the windows are opening and closing fine. Didn't see any issues in the bedrooms. Closet doors, there were some extras up in the attic. I went through it. Now your smoke detectors are just battery operated in the bedrooms. So it's good that they're in the bedrooms. They weren't in the bedrooms when they built the house, but they've upgraded since then and put these on in 2022. Let's see that date right there. 10 years. You get 10 years out of these, and then you should be replacing. Same thing with this bedroom. Got light switches, ceiling fan working good, your window is operational, and closets were clean. Actually got all the tracks, so we do have some damage by the door because we're missing a door stop. So this doorknob actually went right in there. Door stop recommended. Door closes, locks, lights on, off, same thing with the windows. Opening and closing. So we just need to clean that guy up. These windows get so dirty in Arizona, especially single pane windows. See here, half hot over here. It's connected to this single switch. So plug your lamp in over here. And your master. Same thing with 3 switches. Thing here is all of the outlets are right side up, so how are you gonna know which one is connected to your half hot or connected to your switch? Probably not that one. Or that one. We're running out of options here. Okay, so they eliminated your half hot. They put in new outlets and they did not put in a switchable outlet when they did that. Closet. It's where you put your clothes. Alright, so this is the primary. So the light, the vanity light, is attached to the ceiling fan, which is okay. You're gonna get it out of here. This old shower, check the grout lines, check the caulking lines. We're gonna crank this guy up. I'm sure it's connected in the wall. I'm not expecting hot water because the circuit was off. But I'm checking all your grout. A little bit of cracking in a couple locations here. And for the age of the home, the grout looks pretty amazing. Give the toilet a little shimmy. Good there. Crank up the sink. And some previous leaks back there. It looks like the angle stops have been replaced. PVC going into the wall. I can't tell what drain pipe is behind the wall though. Pop that drain open, see if we get anything leaking. Just gonna let that run for a little bit. So this is the enclosed patio room with the brick floors, hole in the wall. Windows running good. Now, an addition like this probably should have been approved with a permit. There's no heating or cooling in here at all. There's no vents going back into the house. So it's not really considered a livable space. It's just a room on the back of the house. There, you can see the caulking gap on the countertop. fell down a little bit on the front there, so soft, yeah, soft cabinets will do that. I'm just gonna let this shower run for a little bit. I'm gonna come back in and cap that shower pan test. So I've got one more bathroom to go. Check drain stop. Checking the GFI. I thought these were pretty cool. Toothpaste. Previous leaks, previous something going on back here. It's not very clean. Let that run for a little bit. Drain stops working. Tank shimmy. Toilet's a little bit loose in the back of the tank. That's bolted on, so I can't really tighten it up. Plastic wall, tub, missing a drain stop. Shower head secure. It doesn't want to switch up to the diverter very easily. See, we're still getting water out of the tub spout there even after we turn the shower head on. There's a diverter cartridge inside of here. That's not working quite right. Then of course I can't test the drain without a drain stop. Make sure that didn't leak under the sink. Looks good. No ventilation in this bathroom. The fan is not operational. Back in the corner, you've got that vent fan up at top, but it's not working. Got a couple lights out. A couple nail pops up on the ceiling. If you can see right there. Been patched, repaired. Yeah, we're down to 68 degrees on the inside right now. Let's fire up the thermal and see what we can find. So we got the main air return right here at 65 degrees, roughly 64. We're going to test the air returns back here down to 45, 50, 47. It's a good split. Looking for 14 to 21 degrees on that. What we can do is go around the house and look for hot and cold spots. See if there's any insulation that is out of place or missing. Usually shows up pretty easily. You can see on the corners there that those warm spots. There's always a little bit of separation right there, and that's where the wall is about its thinnest. Yeah, the wall ceiling junction has always got a little bit of heat coming from it. These single pane windows. Yep, 76 degrees on the window. The wall itself is almost 10 degrees cooler. And same thing with this bedroom. Look around for hot and cold spots. seeing anything out of the ordinary. This thermal camera is going to show you all the blue spots. That's all the water. The water is landing over here and running down. So I'm looking for any blue spots that are on the wall or down on the ground in front of the shower where the water might be leaking out. Even possibly on the back side of this wall, there could be some blue spots for water leaking through. I'm going to come back and do a shower pan test. Figure out how to trim these off. The shower handle knob is pretty messed up here. Well, thanks for watching. I'm Home Inspector Dan with BPG Inspections in Phoenix, Arizona. Doing residential home inspections, sewer camera inspections, termite inspections, pool and spa inspections. Any house that's brand new up to 150 years old. I don't think people were living in the desert 150 years ago. If you were, you're crazy anyway.